Hello, are you all snuggly? Then I'll begin. This story is called Pot-Pourri Fairies. Before we can begin this book, before I'll let you take a look at the great secret that lies between these pages that are to be seen, I must know that you have a good heart, that you don't tell fibs or rip flies apart, that you'll take the oath, that you'll swear to be responsible for our Earth's safety. You see, the secret I have to tell is as old as when the first trees fell, for underneath the trees were caged a magic force, an evil rage, and since that day it has been free to cause us all great misery, but especially to the fairies of the wood, who've never done anything else but good. So before with you I share my tale, I need to know you'll never fail, for the fairies have asked us for a hand to chase out evil from our land. So I need you to join our team to help fulfill the fairies' dream. So put your hand on your heart and picture a tree and repeat the following after me. I promise that I will never tell the many-toed witches where the fairies dwell. If I do, I know that they will leave our world and fly away. Well done! You are now officially a member of the Pot-Pourri Fairy Protection Club. So now it's time to hear my tale. I'll take you on a magical trail where the good and evil, the wicked and wise can be found underground and up in the skies. But always remember that you have the power, that you can make all evil cower. Long ago, before there was man, or cars, or laptops, or pre-sliced ham, the earth was a place of flowers and trees, of tinkling brooks and whispering leaves. Then only animals roamed the land, and our fairy friends were a happy band. They feasted on nectar and roast honeycomb, making each flower a scented home. Then man came along, and with him a need to build and hunt and cook and feed, and to the trees he looked up high and swung his axe. Oh, how the fairies did cry. You see, there's a secret beneath each tree. The gnarled, knobbly roots we often see are in fact the toes of an evil witch whose wizened heart is as black as pitch. These witches in fact have 29 toes, and a bulbous, boil-infested nose that can sniff out fairies from miles away, which helps them discover and capture their prey. For fairies have a distinctive smell, so they chose to live in a floral dell, where wildflowers masked their special scent, and plant sprites made them a leafy tent. So then the witches got really mad. They wanted the magic the fairies had. But now their noses could not smell a thing. So plan 2 was to wait for a fairy to sing. Then they could follow the happy sound and knock the fairy to the ground. Fortunately, as they have 29 toes, they trip themselves up, head over nose. Plan 3, the witches sent out spies all over the wood to be their eyes. The fungus goblins were wicked and sly. They loved to be horrid and make children cry. Their heads looked like mushrooms or toadstool tops, and these hid them from view in spying spots. So before too long they were able to tell the many-toed witches about the dell. The MTWs set off at a pace, tripping over each other to get to that place. They really were a comical sight, but even amongst themselves they would fight. Imagine you running in your dad's old slippers. They ended up thrashing around like kippers, and all that noise was a saving grace, as it warned the fairies of the witch's haste. Lucky for them, the plant sprites could feel the vibrations of witches close on their heels. So around the fairies they wrapped their arms, making them look like feathery ferns. Then when the stupid witches arrived, they found nothing. Our wonderful fairies survived. Let's big up the plant sprites, who nobody sees, as they can move faster than a grandad's sneeze. Now, do you have any pot-pourri? A smelly mix of petals and bits of old tree? Well, in fact, it's a home for a fairy to hide from the witches whose evil we cannot abide. A pot-pourri fairy for you to keep, who'll only appear when you're asleep. So guard her well and keep her safe, and help renew her crumpled faith. You probably won't see your fairy friend unless there is danger close at hand. But if you look closely at your pot-pourri, you might spot her hat, or a cup for her tea, or maybe an old discarded wing, as fairies grow new on every spring. So now you know your fairy is free and living in safety in your pot-pourri. Now, please, please, please never cut down trees, as this many-toed witches freeze. Always remember that trees do protect from rain and sun and the greenhouse effect, and especially from evil. So why not say a big thank you to trees? Go on, hug one today. You never know. One day you might see the magical tree that is smiling at me. So that's my secret shared with you. And all that you now need to do is keep your pourri smelling so sweet that your fairy is safe from many-toed feet. Now, when you are walking through woods, beware, for the witches will know for a fairy you care, and one of their root-like gnarled-up toes will trip you up right onto your nose. So remember, each morning as you arise, repeat the oath and never tell lies. Put your hand on your heart and picture a tree and repeat the following after me. I promise that I will never tell the many-toed witches where the fairies dwell. If I do, I know that they will leave our world and fly away. Now that's not the end, that's just the beginning of your adventure. Bye-bye.